YOLO. You only live once. Life is too short to spend it on exercising, on meditating. है ना? ये एक्सक्यूज दे के कितनी कितनी सारी जनता हमारे देश की या पूरी दुनिया की अपनी जिंदगी बर्बाद कर चुकी है. यू ओनली लिव वंस, तो जितने ड्रग्स करने कर लो. यू ओनली लिव वंस, तो जितनी दारू पीनी है पी लो. यू ओनली लिव वंस, तो जितना गंद खाना है खा लो. बिकॉज यू ओनली लिव वंस. We all have this aspect कि नहीं, life is too short, so let's not spend it on hard work, let's not spend it on some effort. No, 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 let's spend it on fun, let's spend it on pleasures. हर मोमेंट में कुछ ना कुछ प्लेजर आ रहा हो. It could be a dopamine hit. Actually, everything is a dopamine hit. It could be the drugs, it could be the alcohol, it could be the junk food, it could be the reels, the brain rot. Everything is a dopamine hit, right? Life is too short, so shorten it more. Yes, perfect. Motto of life. Life is too short, so shorten it more. डोपामिन रिसेप्टर्स इतने फ्राई कर दो कि तुम कुछ कॉम्प्रीहेंड ही ना कर पाओ. तुम सारा टाइम ओवर स्टिमुलेटेड रहो एंड तुम एडिक्शंस में अपनी जिंदगी बर्बाद कर दो. What I think, yes, life is short. If you think it is short. अगर तुम सोचो कि यार लाइफ इज़ टू शॉर्ट, मैं ज़रा प्लेजर्स में अपना टाइम बिताता हूँ, मैं अपना ज़रा आइसक्रीम खाने में, दारू पीने में, ड्रग्स करने में, मज़े करने में, प्लेजर्स में अपना टाइम बिताता हूँ, यू आर जस्ट शॉर्टनिंग इट मोर. अगर देखा जाए, लाइफ इज़ नॉट दैट शॉर्ट. आई मीन, यू हैव अ प्रॉपर, if you can maintain some good health and luck, you have a proper 100 years in front of you, and you are allowed to do something new every single day. I don't see anything that can prove कि इसमें कि life is short. Yes, you can make it shorter though. Yeah, you can make it shorter by indulging in pleasures all day, every day. You can cut that 100 years down to 50. You can cut it to 60. You can cut it to somewhere in the later years. Or you can even cut it to 30 if you want to, if you are gonna go a bit more extreme, alcohol, drugs. Oh wow, very nice. You are achieving the YOLO standard very well. You only live once. Spend your life in as many pleasures as you can, huh? The problem is we always think कि अच्छा, you only live once, so I should spend it all on pleasures. Why does you only live once put our mind into that direction कि हाँ अच्छा, एक ही बारी में तो ज़िंदगी मिलेगी, तो अभी कर लेते ड्रग्स. एक ही बारी ज़िंदगी मिलेगी तो अभी कर लेते, दारू पी लेते हैं. Why do you only think in that direction? Why is it not कि you only live once? तो जितनी भगवान की पूजा करनी है कर लो, जितनी पढ़ाई कर सकते हो करो, जितना जितना खेल कूद सकते हो खेलो, जितना एक्सरसाइज कर सकते हो करो. Why do we don't perceive it that way? वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग है, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. एक्चुअली में जितना पढ़ सकते हो पढ़ो, जितनी विजडम गैदर कर सकते हो अपने लिए करो, बिकॉज यू ओनली लिव वंस. व्हाई डोंट वी लुक एट इट इन दैट परस्पेक्टिव? व्हाई डू वी ऑलवेज गो टू द प्लेजर्स वाली चीज? इज देयर अ रीजन बिहाइंड दिस? यस, देयर इज. द रीजन इज हमारी जनरेशन, इनफैक्ट सिर्फ हमारी जनरेशन नहीं, सारी जनरेशन बहुत टाइम तक वी हैव बीन इंडल्जिंग इन इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशंस. कि मतलब एकदम से बस बस खुशी हो जाए, आगे का नहीं पता. That your future self can suffer if he needs to, but your present self should feel the most satisfied, most pleasured possible. Your future self could be young and on his deathbed because of a disease caused by overeating of junk food, by not proper good health in your body, caused by your own bad decisions. But your present self it should be in full fun, as many pleasures as it can possibly have in the same time. From one place, ice cream coming, from other place, alcohol coming, from other place, drugs coming, from other place, brain rot coming. Each and every pleasure you can possibly have it right now. Because अरे you only live once यार. अगले जन्म तक ये ओवरडोजेज याद रहनी चाहिए. The thing is, हमारा माइंड उस डायरेक्शन में चला जाता है because we have been indulging ourselves into instant gratification for too damn long. Now it's about time we start delaying our gratification. We start delaying happiness. It's okay if I'm not happy right now, if I'm not feeling the instant boost of like, that felt nice. It's okay if I'm not feeling that right now, if I'm allowed to feel that in the future. It does sound a bit toxic. Oh, you don't know, bhai, you don't know if you're even going to be there in the future or not. Yes, that is true. But you're definitely not going to be there in the future if you're going to spend your present destroying your future. When you are contemplating कि there is some hope कि मैं फ्यूचर में हूँगा, अगले 10 सालों तक हूँगा, 15 सालों तक हूँगा, तो जो मैं हार्डवर्क अभी कर रहा हूँ मुझे वो उसकी खुशी, उसकी हैप्पीनेस प्राप्त होगी आगे जाके. एटलीस्ट यू आर फोकसिंग कि हाँ देर इज अ फ्यूचर एंड अ गुड फ्यूचर. बट वेन यू आर जस्ट सेइंग नहीं नहीं, यू ओनली लिव वंस, लाइफ इज टू शॉर्ट, आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू स्पेंड ऑल माई टाइम ऑन प्लेजर्स. अभी खुश हो जाओ जितना होना है. ये चीज करने से ना तुमने ऑलरेडी अपना लाइफ स्पैन छोटा कर दिया. तुमने ऑलरेडी वो जो परसेंटेज है ना चांस की कि फ्यूचर है भी कि नहीं है, वो वाली परसेंटेज को और हिला दिया कि शायद फ्यूचर नहीं है. जितने मजे लेने अभी ले लो. Yes, you are supposed to live like you have no tomorrow, but that does not mean you're gonna spend it all on drugs and alcohol and junk food and pleasures. When Rocky says to sorry, not Rocky, when Apollo says to Rocky, I hope I'm naming this right characters because I only watched a short video. I did not know the character's name, but it was a scene from Rocky's some video, some movie, and it was where they both are fighting, and Rocky says tomorrow they are practicing, and Rocky is very tired. Apollo says there is no tomorrow. When he says that, he does not mean there is no tomorrow. Go back home, enjoy some time with your ice cream, with your television, with some nice junk food and alcohol and drugs, and do as much of them as you possibly can today because there is no tomorrow. He doesn't mean that. What he means is that because there is no tomorrow, push as far as you possibly can today. In a good thing, in boxing, in practice. He's not talking about the instant gratification. When you know there is no tomorrow, you're gonna push the farthest possible. And if you push it in a good direction, on improvement of yourself, of your physique, of your body, of your mind, of your soul, then you will see the different aspect, the different mindset from which you can look at the statement you only live once, YOLO. You only live once, so do as much hard work as you possibly can in a good direction. So spend the least amount of time in instant gratification, in the pleasures, because all of that is just cheap dopamine. So spend the most amount of time learning and gathering as much of wisdom and knowledge as you possibly can. Spend the most amount of time experiencing good experiences, and learning from them. Spend the most amount of time implementing your learnings. Spend the most amount of time improving your life because you only live once. Improving your soul because you only live once. It's not about drinking as much as you can drink, eating as much as you can eat because you only live once. It's about improving yourself as much as you can improve because you only live once. It is the same statement at the end, you only live once. But the mindset, the perspective that you're looking at it is different. And that's what you need. The perspective is either of instant gratification or either of delayed gratification. बर्तन क्यों गिरे? And what I want you to do is look at it from the perspective of delayed gratification. That because you only live once, I'm gonna go as hard as I possibly can go in my boxing practice today. I'm gonna go as hard as I possibly can go for the next 6 months on my physique now. It's not from that perspective of instant gratification ki because you only live once, I'm gonna go to the bar and drink as much as I possibly can. No, 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 no. The only difference is of the perspectives from which you look at it. And it is a very small difference, but at the same time it makes all the difference. मुझे पता है मैंने शायद तुम्हें थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज कर दिया इस वीडियो में कि कहना क्या चाहते हो. What I basically mean is look at it from a different perspective. Look at it from a better perspective. You only live once का मतलब ये नहीं है कि you're gonna spend it all on pleasures. You're gonna spend your life in pleasures. It means कि you're gonna go as hard as you possibly can in enjoyment of, not degenerate enjoyment. I'm talking about genuine wholesome enjoyment of life. Making as many friends, gathering as many wholesome experiences, learning as much as you can, developing yourself as much as you can. Not just your health, your mind, your wealth, your physique, your happiness, but even your soul. Because you only live once. I hope this video finds the right person. Goodbye. Jai Shri.